Gypsy 207, contact 175, 72 miles. Looks like a flight of 2, Angels 10.
Close out curves showing 78 miles.
Hey guys, this is Mike. The weather out here in California has been terrible for flying these guys. I haven't got out to the field for at least 10 or 15 days. The wind's there, and so I need to find things to do. So I decided to try a product that I've heard about to put a protective finish on foam planes. It's called Hobby Coat. It comes in different sizes. I believe it's made by Beacon Industries. You can lay it right on top of the foam with a nice brush, and it gives it a finish that keeps it from getting nicks, cuts, strengthens it a little bit. It has kind of a rubbery finish to it. It finishes in a somewhat of a semi-gloss finish, so that may be a negative for some of you who like that flat look. But what it does for the plane is fantastic. And those planes that don't have hinged control surfaces, there's foam hinges, you put it on there, man, it adds a coat or two, that rubberized material, and it adds strength to those hinges. So real quickly, I'm going to kind of go over the prep and then the usage of it. Basically, to prep, all you do is get the dust off the plane. You just got to get it clean. Don't use any kind of Windex or any kind of moisture on the plane. Just use a brush and go through your whole plane and get all the field dust, the garage dust off the whole plane, and make sure that it's all done. And make sure that any decals that may be loose, make sure they're done tight. If they're water slide decals, once you put this product on, you can kind of use it to smooth them out if it's necessary. And that's about as easy as it is. You want to use, when you put this product on, it says use a bristle brush. I'm using not an expensive brush, but a nice sable brush that has a big white end on it, because you kind of have to work this material quickly. It doesn't kick for about a half an hour, but you know, once you start on a plane, you know you can get crazy and you not pay attention to what's going on and get behind it. So get yourself a nice big fat, nice soft sable brush. Do not put this material on hard plastic surfaces. I found out that it tends to bead, it doesn't cover, and it doesn't look good. So you don't need it on the hard plastic surfaces anymore. We're trying to protect the foam, and it works great for that. So let's get started. Okay guys, I hope this comes through pretty clear. Here's the brush I will be using. It's a sable brush, pretty nice, but not a real expensive one. Just you need the smooth bristles on it so that it spreads the product evenly. Got a plastic cup here I've used before. Got a little bit of junk in it, but it's okay. This product kicks in about 30 minutes. That means that it starts to dry in about 30 minutes, so you do have to be careful with some residue from before anyway. So here's the product, Hobby Coat from Beacon. A little bit goes a long way. Put some in my plastic cup here. And you'll see how nice it goes on. Get your brush wet. And I'm going to be working from the nose back. And this is a plastic part. This is a plastic part, so I'm going to try to stay away. So right over my decals. It goes nice and smooth. Covers real nice with this brush. All the foam parts that have paint will be covered over the top here. You don't have to put a thick coat on it, just enough to cover it. You can put multiple coats on this. What I do is I normally put multiple coats on the wing tips to help protect them, because they tend to get beat up when you're moving it in and out of a car. You always seem to hit something with the wing tips of your plane. So anyway, you see how this goes on. Goes on pretty nice. It looks much glossier now than it will when it dries. It dries as a matte finish. And I'm going to work pretty quickly here because I don't want the product to start drying in the cup. I use a bright light so I can see any dry spots if I miss with the brush. Get this side here. I'm going to try to do the whole fuselage, the upper fuselage, should I say, anyway, in one shot here. And a couple of things. Yes, this is my own addition. The name, this means actually Mad Swallow, because this was actually called a swallow. Okay, so there you see how nice it goes on, and we'll continue from here. So here's a close-up. I'm going to try to do my best here. This is the glossy, what it looks like when you lay it on. It's pretty glossy. And as I go down the fuse, I'm going to pull up to the wing that I did earlier, and you can see that it does, and we're going to focus that. We're going to leave that like that for sure. It does kind of flatten out. I hope this shows up in the video. It has a great feel to it. It's almost rubbery. You can tell that it protects it, and you can see there's some wet spots down there in the end, and you can see the difference between the wet spots there and the dry spots there. Make sure that while you're working this product, when you're done with the cup, get it some cold water and some soap, and wash it all up and clean your brush up so that it doesn't start to kick on your brush and in the cup. So this ME is basically done. The nose is still wet. You can see the gloss. I'm going to let it dry for a while. But I want to bring you over to another plane that I did. And you guys probably know what this plane is. If not, you've seen it somewhere. It's called the Quantum 90. It's one of my videos too. I have a video of it, a small little assembly video on it. But I wanted to show you the wingtips on it. And let me get a light on it here. The wingtips have about 4 coats of this on there. And I'm going to tell you what. They're rubberized, man. I mean, they are protected. I put a coat on the bottom and the top. In other words, the top of the wing and the underside of the wing. And it really has a great finish. Now, this jet is made out of, you know, the EPS, and it's a pretty strong jet. But this hobby coat stuff right now seems to work pretty good. Try it out. It's cheap. It's not expensive. You could put it on a plane that you want to experiment on, and you might be amazed at how well it works. My next thing, I'm going to try another product, and on another plane, and I'll make another video. Anyway, so that's my experience with Hobby Coat. I'll let you know what I think about it after about a month, see how it's holding up. But all indications are it is got a great protective rubberized feel to it. So let's just see what happens, okay? Thanks for watching, you guys.
So you're hitting?
Heading 300, and we have the airport in sight.